French paratroopers have been practicing for rapid deployment to the NATO Eastern flank amid escalating tensions with Russia. According to Associated Press, a regiment of French paratroopers on Friday took part in a rapid deployment drill from helicopters to the Estonian island of Saaremaa as part of a multinational military exercise called Pikne. The exercises, led by the Estonian Defense Forces together with NATO allies from France, the United Kingdom, the United States, Latvia, and Canada, aim to practice the rapid deployment of Allied units to Estonian territory and the repulsion of a potential enemy as a multinational force. This year, the Allies are enhancing the intensity of the exercises and applying the lessons learned from various conflicts, including the war in Ukraine, said a lieutenant colonel and chief of operations of the French brigade.
We are trying to improve the exercise each year, putting more units, more equipment. For example, this morning we had 3 maneuver helicopters, 3 attack helicopters, full company, mortars, 120mm commandos. So we are trying to improve the interoperability when we train together, also the intensity maybe of the exercise. We use the lessons learned from each conflict, each country, because everyone has different doctrines, equipments. So we are very at the page, following what's the latest news. In this exercise, at my level, we are just using tactical drones. So I can say right now that we are using different kind of tactics. It's what we have learned from the last year, and we're trying to improve with our equipment, with our system of command. Not everything can be compared, for example, to Ukraine.
President, the United Kingdom voted against the draft resolution. First, as this Council knows, Iran is defying the global non-proliferation regime. Iran's nuclear escalation, as detailed in over 60 IAEA reports over the past 6 years, is a threat to international peace and security. Iran's actions mean that the IAEA is not able to confirm that Iran's nuclear program is exclusively peaceful. Among the steps Iran has taken is the accumulation of a high enriched uranium stockpile which lacks any credible civilian justification and is unprecedented for a state without a nuclear weapons program. Second, we have engaged tirelessly in diplomatic efforts to resolve concerns and bring Iran back into compliance with its commitments under the JCPOA. We regret that Iran has continued to block progress in recent months. This includes failing to resume full cooperation with the IAEA and giving no clarity on when inspections to all nuclear sites can resume. The IAEA has also not had access to the high enriched uranium stockpile for over 3 months, nor has Iran provided the reports required by the IAEA on the status of the stockpile. It's also clear from the Supreme Leader's public remarks this week that Iran is not willing to consider direct negotiations with the United States. As a result, this Council does not have the necessary assurance that there is a clear path to a swift diplomatic solution. Third, in its vote last week, this Council fulfilled the necessary steps of the snapback process set out in Resolution 2231. Therefore, UN sanctions targeting Iranian proliferation will be reimposed this weekend. All member states are obliged to comply fully with these sanctions, as required by the UN Charter.
As we made clear last week, the United States supports the case France, Germany, and the United Kingdom, the E3, made for Iran's significant and continuing non-performance of its nuclear commitments. And we support the re-imposition of pre-2015 UN sanctions on Iran in accordance with the process laid out in Resolution 2231. The re-imposition of these measures, which will go into effect the evening of September 27th, is not arbitrary. Those measures are narrowly scoped to address the threat posed by Iran's nuclear, missile, and conventional arms programs and support for terrorism. And snapback of these measures does not preclude removal through diplomacy. But at this stage, there is no basis for changing course. Despite suggestions to the contrary, Iran has still failed to address E3 concerns regarding its highly enriched uranium stockpile, compliance with its IAEA obligations, and resumption of direct diplomacy with the United States. We are pleased that the Council rejected this last-ditch effort by the Russian Federation and China to call into question these facts and suggest that an extension would be warranted.